Welcome everyone to Outlawed Anger. Today we're going to go over some of the biggest announcements from E3 and watch the trailers. Most of us haven't seen any of this, so it's going to be a first-time reaction to the new games that are coming out this next year.
Guardians of the Galaxy game was officially...
Yeah.
5 questions. First and foremost,
Yeah.
can I play as Rocket?
No.
Damn it, I'm out.
So this is where I'll fill in because I actually watched a good chunk of the trailer. So it's set up kind of like the Marvel Avengers game was. Square Enix has this contract with Marvel or Disney branching out, right? So Guardians, you play as Star-Lord only. You command the rest of the team through like, hey, do this, hey, do that, hey, do this, and then they still kind of take up their own life.
Like the
And then there's
pre-programmed things from like Final Fantasy.
Yes, exactly like the pre-programmed things from Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy's creator is making the game. So,
Weird.
yeah, Deus Ex was pretty good. I never really played them.
That name still, to me, sounds like Data Sex.
Sure.
It's like some data analysis out there. It's
I
like,
feel like you just like
yeah.
listening for Deus Ex.
So, first impression, I mean,
Probably.
it looks good. I mean, I'll say that. It looks
It's
good.
pretty.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty. I like the fact that they didn't go with the rendering of the
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt
Yeah.
and all them, because that's being overdone at this point.
I think Batista would have been good, though. I like his drafts better.
Just do your own. If you do one, everyone wants one, and it's just a thing.
Yeah. And you got his voices and everything. It's just
Money.
too complicated, too expensive.
But it's one of those, for me to buy it and play it, it's the same thing as the Marvel Avengers game. I'm going to need more. I'm going to need to see it.
Which, I mean, I did buy because it was on sale for like $25. Played it for all of like less than a week, and then sold it back to GameStop because it wasn't worth my time.
Right.
Because of how often it crashed, the inconsistencies within just like your play windows, because they went for the story / cinematic play, and it just did
Like
not
Kingdom
go
Hearts?
well.
So
Worse, though.
now I don't know what the philosophy behind all this is, but for what I would want out of it, let's say, like, here's my list if I'm going to buy it. Not only does it need to be about the Guardians of the Galaxy, but we need to include other characters, like, throw references to somebody else, like the Eternals or somebody else, like, find a reason.
Cosmo's in it at least. I didn't know that.
So, I mean, if it's this, like,
What
isolated
about the
thing where, like,
Collector?
it's just the Guardians just fighting the bad guy of the week or something, then I don't care.
Right.
I want it to be more of, like, separate it from the MCU or anything they've got going on, separate it from all the comics, just have it its own little universe and run with it. What if this happened and run with the entire storyline from there on? Like, give us a reason to keep playing other than the lather, rinse, repeat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I mean, because that's my biggest thing with getting through Ultimate Alliance 3 right now, is it goes off the MCU. And it's just like, I've watched these movies a million times. Like, I know it has different characters in it.
But it's the same story.
It's the same thing.
Right. And he doesn't care because he doesn't care about comic books.
I don't care about
Yeah, I just think it'd be interesting, like, even if you wanted to branch it off of the MCU in general, what if Thanos had died before he was even able to start his adventure, and then spin it that direction? You know, like some of the stuff that they had talked about with, like, if you pull one little string, it just spins it off in another direction. All of those games that they're coming out with, each should be their own universe or galaxy, and then just run with some random what-if story. What if Nazis had taken over the world? What would Captain America look like?
I know.
You guys watch the new Loki?
Not yet. I wait for all
I've
of
watched
them to come
season.
out.
I've watched season or episode 1. I haven't watched episode 2 yet.
I haven't watched any of the series. WandaVision, Winter Soldier.
I didn't watch
Falcon.
WandaVision because fuck that. It's like it
Fuck her? Yes. Okay.
Twice, in fact, in the same episode.
once for fun, twice to make sure.
Just twice? Can I opt
No,
out for more?
per episode.
Oh,
Once at the beginning of it, and once either at the end or in the middle.
well, she's all sweaty and lubed up?
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect.
Get your own sloppy seconds at that point. Anyway,
All right, on to the next game. So
Okay,
Mario,
time in.
Spark of Hope.
Get those fucking rabbits out of everything.
I actually really like the game. The first one's great. The Rabbids Mario, it's really fun. It's XCOM with Mario,
I was literally just about to say it looks like some cash grab some 5-year-old is going to enjoy.
essentially.
It's
Get
one of
those
those
rabbits out of everything. It's fucking. Where did they originally come from?
their
Rayman?
own. It was their own thing. I believe.
Rayman.
Was it Rayman?
Oh, I was right. There's a version for everything.
I like the fact that it adds some additional comedic factor to it. And it's hard to find games that you could play with, like in my case, my boy, who's really young, and I'm not going to get engrossed in the story and get frustrated when he goes off on side tangents and doesn't fucking play. But I'm not just like, okay, we've played this level 6 times. I have the rabbits I can go fuck with and still amuse myself while we play.
Okay.
Or was it?
No, the first one is great. If you haven't played it, honestly, it's on sale on the Switch right now for like $5. It's worth your time. It's XCOM, which if you don't know what XCOM is, above view shooter tactics game. So you choose where you position your troops, they move their troops, your turn, their turn,
So
and
like
you
worms,
shoot.
3D
No, like
battle things.
it's Advance Wars. It's the same fucking thing as Advance Wars.
Oh, they're coming out with Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Yes, I know, it's going to be on here. But it's like Advance Wars. You position your fucking troops. Your troops shoot their troops. You have to line up your abilities so that you get the most bang for your buck when it comes to hit points. So if the guy's got a shield, you drop the shield, then you swoop in and you hit him with a different shot, and then you throw a grenade so you kill him, wipe the enemy.
It's actually pretty
Cover gets dropped. You get special weapons, like Mario's got his ability to be able to jump on top of their head. You got Luigi's a healer, so he can hit you with a healing round. And the Rabbid Peach does, she's got a rocket launcher or something. No, she's got the homing missile.
What's the Rosalind?
I don't know yet, I haven't unlocked her. So, but it's a lot of fun. Like, honestly, it's stupid because Rabbids are stupid, and I fully fucking agree with that. But they make all the Rabbids copy all of Nintendo's trademarks. So just recently I fought a giant Donkey Kong Rabbid. It was super fun.
For me, it's one of those things, like, if I didn't have kids, me personally, I wouldn't get it, just because I would probably play it for 10 minutes and then never touch it again. But with kids, I think it would be a great freaking game.
See, and I play it because I think XCOM's too fucking serious. So this is a knockoff, funny version of XCOM.
Well,
It's
and
just
you're
enough
also-
tactic that I can play it and enjoy the tactic piece, but enough humor where I'm not sitting there bored out of my mind by the XCOM.
You're also a giant child, so.
There is that.
Well,
That is very true.
I mean, there is something to say when the game doesn't take itself seriously.
No, and
That
I
makes it
think
fun.
the games like that, well, it's not my thing, are a great thing. We do need games that are easier, that are not as difficult to play, not as difficult to learn how to play, whatever, so that we can keep challenging games,
Oh, no,
challenging
no,
for
yeah,
good
yeah.
reasons. So we need that spectrum. I ain't gonna play that ever. But I think it is definitely something that we need in this world so that we can have the harder game to beat.
I'm
No,
gonna get
sure.
it and make you play it.
Nope, fuck
I'll
off.
find a way
Nope,
to make
fuck
it.
off.
I have it.
No, I'm gonna get that one in particular, and I'm gonna
Alright.
get you super fucking
Let me
drunk one night and make you
let
play
me
it.
try it too.
Alright,
Okay, let's see what this one is, because I don't know what this one is. Alright, so it's,
First and foremost, how are you gonna say that it's exclusive to fucking everything?
no, it said Xbox One X and PS5 exclusively.
so,
So
won't go-
only next gen. It will not be backwards compatible to.
Right, but like saying exclusively is usually like one console. It's not like, whoa,
yeah,
it's
that's-
exclusive to this and exclusive
Well, that
to
used
this
to be
and
the case, but
exclusive
now
to
they're like,
generation.
now you can buy you can pre-order a game, pay an extra $60 fucking to get the X edition, so when you upgrade your system, you can have the game again. It's bullshit.
we're in
Fucking
the
anniversary.
cross system generation right now, to where these games are going to come out on one or the other or both, and so when they have to say it will only come out on this system.
And,
No,
I'm with
not
you
one
on
or
that.
the other.
My
It's
argument
just one.
is my
They're not
argument
gonna
is
come out
not with the
both
word
systems.
only. It's with the word exclusively. They don't know what it fucking means.
Right.
Just learn the fucking word and use the word only on these systems.
What
It
if
would be
they
way
just
better.
said generation exclusive?
See, generation exclusive.
That would have been
That would be
choice.
better. Way better.
Anyways, we're getting off topic of the actual game. I don't think there's enough to run on.
No, and I like the only
Did you
thing
guys see
again
the
when a
first
game
game?
doesn't take itself seriously. So it sounds like in the actual trailer, the developers are in. You need slow motion shots to make it look super cool, and you need running so that you know there's action. And the developers haven't developed any actual gameplay whatsoever. Like
Yeah,
it's
so-
not taking itself over.
So I've never played the game, but I have watched some YouTube videos on it. Rabbit Hole. And
The first one, you mean?
Outer World. And I think if I'm associated to the right rabbit hole that I
Probably
went
not.
down, probably not. But you like the fastest way to beat that game is you do like this really dumb mission and you like you star warp or whatever, you jump right into a star and you die. And it's like, oh, congratulations, you beat the game.
So, like, what is this? Is this like some sort of No Man's Land, like
Kinda-
survival? What are we
No,
talking?
it's more like a Fallout,
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect Fallout had a baby.
All right, I'm gonna have to
So-
go find the first one, give it a try.
It's
Just
on,
based off of
first
that,
one's on everything as well. So
based off of that, whatever that trailer was, since it's not gameplay or nothing. All right, you got shooting, you got some sort of planet systems, and I'm all right with planets. I like space and stuff of that nature, so I'll look forward to a second trailer or something of that nature.
I mean, the sad thing is like none of us have really heard of the first game.
I mean, I've seen it. I just never
Well, and this
cared to
also
actually
kind of goes
play
back
it.
to what we were just talking about a minute ago when we took a break, is they need to stop telling everything before they have, like, they have no gameplay to show. Why the fuck are you announcing it? Because if the people that love the first one are going to be super excited and I need this game, I need it, and they're going to start cutting corners.
Well, I was reading a thing kind of on that. So the guys who made, it's gonna come to me, zombie shooting game, only on the PS4. Day Zero, Daylight,
28 days later.
No. Anyways, you're on a motorcycle. You drive
Oh,
around.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So, I can't think. It starts with a D. Anyways, the developers of the game, because it just recently hit PlayStation like Plus or whatever, so you can get it for free, and they did a free weekend. They're like, if you love our game, buy the fucking game. Like, we can't afford to make a sequel to this game because not enough people know about it, play it, have purchased and actually physically played it. And so, by doing something like announcing Outer Worlds 2, he just said, I will look into Outer Worlds. So someone who's never played it, oh, that's kind of interesting, and now might actually go pay for it, and then that funds there being a second.
Yeah, but they also, I think they need to give some balance on that, because, like, Cyberpunk 2077, this is a perfect example. We need this game, we're so excited,
And then people were talking about two penises and stuff. Like, I don't get any of that. This is weird.
And they released it way before it was ready. Like,
Well, and that's on the developer. Don't release it before it's ready, but keep people hungry. Because the same
Yeah.
thing happened. Fucking, we're in the 35th anniversary of Zelda, and we're gonna see Breath of the Wild 2 finally. It's been 2 years since they've even said anything about it since the first one. That's too long. If you're gonna feed them, feed them. Don't treat them like mushrooms and feed them shit. Like,
Well, and I
But
think
there's
that
a difference.
you've got to be, I don't know, like, say what you have done
yes.
or what you're or whatnot, but don't overpromise things.
Don't
They-
overpromise.
They go into all
I
this
agree.
like, oh, this is gonna be this sweet thing where you can pause time and warp to another
Right.
galaxy, and then the real game comes out and that's nowhere.
And
to
it's
be
a
found.
loading screen. And
Yeah.
anything. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't overpromise.
The
but
one,
do a
the one
thing
game
where
that
you're
did the
at.
opposite, where they had more time. Or, oh, we're actually ahead of schedule. We have more time. Was Alex Mercer.
Prototype.
Yeah.
But that game still didn't turn out to what it could have been.
See, and
But
That's
what
so
they
they,
still
fun.
cut
And-
a lot of corners. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but they cut corners.
I think the other thing that I think, in my mind, that I get really aggravated
Maybe the
about
second one. I
is
don't remember.
if you want to go with the free-to-play model, like the service model, right? You make a small game and you're going to keep doing expansions, whether you pay for the expansions or whether you do the download content. Whatever your game style is, decide it in advance.
Yeah.
And then run with it. All these games are like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do $60 game and then add the service, then add the microtransactions, and then add expansions anyway. Like, pick your lane and stick with it. Because if you do the service model, you don't have to have a full $60 game. If it's free to play, especially, make something small that's just going to get people hooked long enough to develop the next batch. Release that, and you'll
So
and
I was
boom
talking
again,
about
boom
making
again,
a side
boom again.
screen
See,
RPG.
Exactly.
A side screen RPG, kind of like the old Final Fantasies, where it was like turn based, like Super Mario RPG. And I was gonna call it Ode to Joy, but your character would actually lose levels, so you'd have to keep your old equipment back at base, so that way if you lost enough levels, you could still equip that equipment to make yourself strong enough.
Which
And
would
then-
actually be something that no game's done. Because no game does that. Like any old gear, you never lose levels enough to actually need any of that. So you just sell it.
Yeah, so you'd have to keep your old gear, so you'd have to pay, like you'd have to forge, or you'd have to like grind for
Are you
space.
talking about something you want or something you played?
Somebody wants to make.
Oh, okay.
It was something that I programmed.
I think something, I don't know, more of like,
I missed that part, so I was like, "What are you talking about?"
You're like, that sounds awesome, right?
I think making death matter in a lot of these games would be amazing. So like, losing levels is an option that we just don't have access to gear you currently have because of the level cap. But I just think if you died out there in the middle of nowhere, your body would just collapse and someone else could steal your shit. So yeah, if you could get back to it fast enough, you could get it. Maybe someone else has it.
Well,
But I would make
So,
sure that it stays in the
Thieves.
game.
So, Sea of Thieves and also like
Arc Salad, isn't it?
well, World of Warcraft and EverQuest. I don't know if you guys ever played
Hey,
EverQuest.
Burden, will you fight me real quick and
No.
go?
No.
Motherfucker.
But we're doing
We're in the
shit.
middle of a thing.
But anyway, so with ones like Ark or whatever, you're almost guaranteed to get your shit back. Yes, you could have a chance of losing if you don't get back to it fast enough. But I'm saying, have somebody else steal it. Have like in like Diablo or whatever, there's the stupid treasure goblin. Yeah, the treasure goblins. Why is your shit not in the treasure goblin world, giving you a reason to actually go there?
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty fucking cool.
And then you have to keep your backup stuff. So if you lose your shit, you get some backup gear, maybe backup gear off of that, and make it harder.
So-
Make it death meaningful.
All the way back to it, like Outer Worlds 2, not enough detail to actually go off of anything,
No,
but
definitely not.
definitely intriguing, makes you want to go look at the first one. So that's why I feel like they do it, but yes, they don't do either they overpromise, or they underdeliver, or they don't give you enough to keep you continually interested.
So following that, I would say this trailer for Outer Worlds 2 is a terrible trailer. But to get you interested in the IP in general,
Well
It
done.
does
did that
help.
for me, so I'm in. So
Fair enough.
Looks like Borderlands. I have no idea what this is. Okay, so Tiny Tina spinoff. I never played Borderlands 3 enough to actually know who Tiny Tina is.
So Tiny Tina
She's
is
in
actually
Borderlands too.
she's in Borderlands 2.
I
That's
have
where
no
I know
idea.
her
I don't
from.
remember when that one is.
She gets bigger though.
She's kind of sassy, and that's why I like her.
She's like the female Deadpool, correct?
Wimple.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far.
She's crazy. She likes blowing shit up.
I mean, she is what you would imagine a girl to be in a wasteland like that.
Gotcha.
Like,
She's-
she is
she's-
sassy, she is crazy, but she's hilarious.
She's also a demolition expert.
Rat trap in person. That.
Right.
And I always enjoy the Borderlands games, but I've never got enough into them.
I enjoy them enough to get like a quarter of the way into the game. I've
Well-
never actually beat.
How much have me and you played Borderlands? That's how much I've played Borderlands.
Okay. So I've beaten one,
I
and that is it.
I get into them, I really enjoy them, but I just get lost and I slowly dwindle off of it.
Yeah.
So it looks good, it looks funny, but I don't know if I would drop money on it just because of the franchise.
I think this is just building off of the expansion that they had, where she was telling a story that was like D&D.
Yeah. She
And
basically renegade it, which was quite hilarious.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I love Borderlands, but
I like Borderlands. I mean, the art sometimes gets to me, but I do like Borderlands. I played it. I played that adventure. I loved the shit out of it. My problem with this is going to be
did you beat
that
Borderlands?
she is an amazing side character. I don't know if she can pull the whole game by herself. So I don't know if she's supposed to, or if she's just telling a story, or what level that is. But if she's supposed to be like the main character, it's not going to work in my
The only
opinion.
thing I have for
I'm
that
pretty sure she's just the narrator, just like in the expansion.
We'll
That's what I feel.
I'll have to see
it's
more
got
into
her
it.
name attached to it. I don't think she would be the just a narrator. And if she is, that's fine. Then your character is probably going to be designed by her, and if they do it, they should do it like Stick of Truth, where, what do you look like, new kid? And you go through the whole thing. It's like, what's your name, new kid? And you put your name in there. It's like, douchebag? Is that correct? And you're like, no, douchebag it is. All right, douchebag, let's go. And like, it forced that piece, but you did the rest of it. So she, again, you build your character to her talking in the background because she's building you.
Right.
But the saving grace of that game that would make it more fun than a Borderlands game is Borderlands is very set. Like, you go from here to here to here. The guns is the part that draws you in, like the loot shooter. But if that one changes based on, like, how you went about the quest, like they had a changing world map, whatever, based on her story, that would be interesting and give you more replay value. Even if it was only like a 4-path river, right?
So you're talking about like something from they did Black and White, and they also did Fable.
Kind of like the Tales, the Walking Dead Tale games where you had to like make your choices and it was all just story narrative.
The Tall Tales.
Yeah, Tall Tales.
I hate
You do that, but you play it like Borderlands, where your actions of how you go about completing said whatever quest splits off.
Yeah, so if you do something more stealthy, then it goes one way. If you do loud, you do another. If you fail, you go a different way entirely.
Right. And she just keeps the story going. And it just keeps building from whatever it was that you did. If you died, she just keeps the story going, and then you could play somewhere else that you wouldn't have played if you didn't die.
Definitely something I'll look into.
So,
Side note, I do love how Borderlands created like the respawn, where like cloned your body and they molecularly rebuild. And they're like, you may lose like chance of reproduction and stuff like that. You know, like that was
Oh,
a great fucking idea for like it scans you. It's like so it built the respawn into a technology in the game.
yeah.
Which was I thought was very clever and it made me enjoy it.
I do always love when they do that. Also, my favorite line in I think it was the first one, was when the guy was like, "Girls all tell me I'm the fastest ride in the." Oh, I just realized that wasn't a compliment.
My favorite quote, or the quote that always jumps to mind of Borderlands is that I think in Borderlands 2, and there the guy's like, oh, "You're a vault hunter? That's like a unicorn."
I honestly want to see a thing of like Deadpool, Claptrap, and
Rocket,
and like
and
They did
Loki and the
something-
Joker.
Quite a
All right, next game.
So next time you get him to play Mario Rabbids,
Speaking of an actual
we'll see if I can fuck him.
forced from the get badass female lead character, new Samus.
Nintendo Wii.
Metroid.
I think it looks cool, especially with the 2D aspect that it has.
Well, Samus has always been badass. I think Samus is a much better 2D game than a 3D game. Always has been.
I think there's a lot
Agreed.
of should have stayed as 2D
Yeah.
games. But I agree with you, and I love the fact that, kind of going back a second, it was always a female character.
And it's
They made her
always
strong,
been
independent female character, and they didn't require her to be in a bikini or some nonsense. They put her in the fucking suit, which is amazing.
Well, it's just like Ripley.
Run with it. It's
Ripley's
great.
been a badass since the get. Ripley got worse as they tried to make her more feminine.
Right. I
Right?
agree. Yeah.
Ripley was
totally.
a badass through Aliens 1, 2, you get to Aliens 3, you get to Aliens 4. You're like, what are you doing? Stop. It's the same thing with Samus, though. Samus was the same way. Samus was fucking awesome. All the way through.
Then they
The
took her
moment
suit
they made
off.
her 3D and
Yeah.
put her in Zero Suit Samus,
Yep.
you over-sexualized her.
Yep.
She didn't need it.
I could understand maybe at some points taking the helmet off,
Oh, yeah, so
To
you
show
know
her
that you've been a
face?
girl the whole time. You're like, oh, fucking cool.
but like
Yeah.
the whole suit into the cat suit is just dumb.
I agree. Especially when they gave the cat suit more power than the fucking
Then the battle
bigger
suit.
battle suit. Like, come on. Kiss my ass.
Really?
Yeah, the Zero suit
I
was supposed to be
never
like
played any
most,
of the Metroids because
It was supposed to be her most
Interesting.
advanced suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It,
It's like nanite technology or some shit. I forget what it was that they sold it as, but
It's just basically like
it was a way to sexualize
let's
Samus.
take our female Mega Man and make it so.
No. Mega Man was a copy of Samus. Samus is a badass.
Mhm.
so I'll say this: the game looks
I-
fucking beautiful.
Does.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. Now, my biggest thing with side scrollers anymore is if you try to play them on the new systems, the controls do not line up, and it's a bitch and a half to play. Like,
I'll give you that, but they're not built
I-
to a system. That's the difference.
if this comes out and it's smooth, everything, I won't have an issue with that.
Yep.
But if it feels like I'm playing an old school side scroller with new graphics, I'm gonna be pissed.
That's fair. But I will say that one thing it's got going for it is that it is specifically designed for the Switch because it's Nintendo's baby, right?
Yeah.
So it's not Shovel Knight, which is fun but very hard to play, or Hollow Knight, or any of the other nudie side scrollers that are
Dude.
on every console.
Have you
so
played the
there's
expansions
no-
of Shovel Knight? Where you can play as Spectre Knight?
No.
Oh my god, that game's so fun.
Yeah.
Says this guy because he still likes it, but it's a pain in the ass to play.
It's actually Spectre Knight is way easier to play than Shovel Knight.
Anyway, based off of the trailer, I'm gonna go ahead and buy Samus.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I'm in on Samus.
I'm actually hoping they give, since it's a follow-up to Fusion, I'm hoping they give you, like, even if it's the original and I'll have to suffer through the shitty controls, like just a put
Remastered or
Fusion on
something.
it. It's a GBA, Fusion was a GBA one, I want to say. Prime was an Fusion, yeah. So it was like a Game Boy
What's the
Advance
one
game.
that came out on the DS that was like the promo that you got for free?
It was like Hunters. That was
Yeah.
like the first-person shooter on the 2D. But
It'll be smart
if you
to
go
bring,
back and you bring it on there, just to give it to me, I don't even care if it's shit graphics. Like, the fact that we still don't have like Game Boy Advance emulators and shit on the Switch kind of bugs me. But if you're gonna do something like this,
You
give me
should
just a
bring it
little,
on.
just give me a little extra. Like, let me play
Or
that
even
story.
Sega.
Even after I beat
Or-
it, it doesn't even unlock till I beat the fucking Dread. Give me that. I
or
don't even
if
care.
anything, they sit there, they give you a quick rundown of what happened, and you play the last 2 levels.
Yeah, perfect. Gets me ready, and then you get to see that graphics change, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck yes, like something cool like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm 100% on board with Samus.
Let's
Like,
do it.
That's fucking cool.
Samus it is.
This one looks like Devil May Cry to me, but
You. Final Fantasy.
Dark Souls, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass. 100%, but that's me.
I'll probably get it just because I love the Final Fantasy franchise. But the thing that bugged me about it is there was so much that I saw that seemed like his sword looked like a fucking giant Kratos blade, but just one of them. That's what it looked like. Like,
That was, I mean, my takeaway was when he said his kill content twice. That means that's all you're gonna hear the whole time he's swinging his blade is his monologue of his kill monologue.
So, I have never played any Final Fantasy ever. Based off that trailer, I'm good without playing any of them ever again.
so the other ones, it definitely is like 1 through 12 is definitely games that you have to. It's like beer; it's an acquired taste. The last one, 13, when they changed everything about it and made it to where it wasn't turn-based, it was, free-flowing fighting. That changed the game for me. Like, I still love the franchise, but that game was amazing. And it's one that you could actually bring other people into that never liked the other one. So definitely check it out.
So-
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next part of this series. We'll be back shortly. See ya.